I cannot be silent.
Back when Eisenhower was the president, golf courses is where most of his time was spent. So I never really listened to what the president said, because in general I believed that the general was politically dead. But he always seemed to know when the muscles were about to be flexed, because I remember him saying something, mumbling something about a military-industrial complex.
As I have walked among the desperate, rejected, and angry young men, I have told them that Molotov cocktails and rifles would not solve their problems. I have tried to offer them my deepest compassion while maintaining my conviction that social change comes most meaningfully through nonviolent action. But they ask, and rightly so, what about Vietnam? They ask if our home nation wasn't using massive doses of violence to solve its problem, to bring about the changes it wanted. Their questions hit home, and I knew that I could never again raise my voice against the violence of the oppressed in the ghettos without having first spoken clearly to the greatest purveyor of violence in the world today, my own government. For the sake of those boys, for the sake of this government, for the sake of the hundreds of thousands trembling under our violence, I cannot be silent.
Each one reach one, each one time.
I cannot be silent.
Nobody can do everything, but everybody can do something. Everyone must play a part. Everyone's got to go to work. Work for peace. Spirit say work.
I cannot be silent.
Empowering the body, mind, and spirit. This is We Cannot Be Silent with Phil Restino and Larry Pinkney.
But at this point, I would like to introduce Larry Pinkney and Janet Restino, who is our hosts for this segment of the program.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Gary Hendershot. We want to thank UnitedWeStrike.com, the good and great brothers and sisters with UnitedWeStrike.com. Go on the website, check it out, contribute and support. Gary, you are fantastic. All the folks, including Matt Navarro at UnitedWeStrike.com. The other thing I want to say very quickly, because we intend to have fun for the next few minutes on We Cannot Be Silent, as Emma Goldman Jack Frager, Emma Goldman or Jack Frager said, hey, if I can't dance, I don't want to be a part of your revolution.
Okay.
So we have a very, very, very special co-host with us, joining us today. That's right, from the Restino clan. That's spelled with a C, folks, not a K. That is spelled with a C.
That's important.
And her name, that voice you hear in the background is Janet Restino. Let me introduce her. In fact, before I do that, I want to give to everyone the greetings from Phil Restino. Phil had to deal with some important family business, but you know what we want to do? We want to wish him our love as he does with us and our strength. We also want to wish very, very, very special Mother's Day greetings to his mom, to our moms, grandmoms, aunties, that's right, grandmothers, mothers, all of them, because without them, we wouldn't be here. So, having said that, let's move right on to our wonderful, wonderful co-host. Phil will be back, but right now, we got the main person. We have none other than Janet Restino. Janet, let's get on it now. Go on, take it away.
God, I don't know what to do with such an intro. It's like everything but the drum roll, but you are the drum roll. Thank you very much. Wow, I'm delighted and ignited to be here. Hey, Phil, thanks very much for the gig. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Brett, everybody in South Florida. Hello, hello. Phil's mom. Nice of you to produce him into the world. We thank you very much. All right, Larry, and your mom too. Yes, thank her for bringing you forth.
Well, Janet, I have a question for you. Who are you, other than Phil Restino's cousin, which is in and of itself quite a big thing? Take 2 minutes. You got 2 minutes. Tell us a bit about yourself, and then then we're going to have some fun.
Who I am? I'm an artist who migrated from Philly to New York. I'm situated here in Hell's Kitchen, Times Square area, overlooking Broadway. It's crazy here with the tourists and everybody. It's a hotbed of creativity and commercialism. They are going hand in hand here very much. However, I'm not so much on the commercialism side at this point in my life. But who am I? Yes, we must ask these questions of ourselves. Well, I'm in, I'm out. I have no doubt. I'm going. I'm up till dawn. I'm frazzled, dazzled. Sometimes I'm changing my mind. I'm silly. I'm really behind my rhyme. I'm free, I will. I got my eye on the Holy Grail. I got a pulse, I got a finger, I got every reason to linger. I got a heart, I got an ear, I got no reason to fear. I got a heart, I got an eye, I got no reason to lie. I got a heart, I got a voice, I got lots of choice. I got a head, I got a tail, and I got wind in my sail, baby. I'ma blow you away. I got a tongue, and I got a song that's got to be sung. I got a feeling. It's got me reeling. I got some love I need to be dealing. I got a thought. It's not for sale. It can't be killed. It can't be bought. I got me a thought. It can't be bought. It's not for sale like beer or ale. It's just like a fish I caught. I am going to catch and release, and my troubles will cease. My troubles will cease. I got soul. It's green-eyed, not blue. I'm on a roll. I am flying from a flagpole. I used to be broken, Larry, but now I'm whole. I say I used to be broken, but now I am whole. I
hear
whole.
You, sister.
Thank you.
I hear you. God, Lord. Lord, see, brothers and sisters, hey, we got to thank our audience, our brothers and sisters, our sisters and brothers out there. Hey, thank you for tuning in to UnitedWeStrike.com for the We Cannot Be Silent radio show. And we cannot be silent. We will not be silent. We're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to have some fun, though. Janet, as you all obviously have heard, is an artist in her own right. And Janet, what I'm going to do, my sister, is I'm going to turn this on over to you, and let's take it where you want to go.
Oh, my God. What a man. What a man. What a man. Didn't somebody sing that? What a man. Somebody sang that song. Wow. Once I did a poetry series called Me and My Big Mouth poetry series in the East Village. That was lots of fun. Yeah, that was lots of fun. Thank you. I kind of grew up and with no voice. I just want to say a little something about my background. In my family, nobody cared what I thought. And I think one of my nightmares that I had as a kid was that I was trying to scream and nothing came out. I was mute. It's funny, like what of the few dreams you remember when you were a kid, and that was one of them. So I look back at that now and think, boy, could there have ever been a clearer image of my position in my family's household. They were not very progressive. So it took me a very, very, very long time to find my voice and find people when I came to New York who, were also finding their voices and finding places where there were open mics, open jam sessions, et cetera, and, people cared about who's saying what, So, but before that, I was pretty much raised, not to have an opinion, be a sheep, follow the herd, and don't be heard, because we ain't got ears for you. It's good to find the voice. It is good, and it's a journey. Your voice may change throughout your life, and it's what's more essential than your voice You know,
right.
there's your eyes and your voice. Yeah.
Well, Janet, I think that, in fact, I have no doubt that of our many listeners around the world, that they also relate to what you were just saying. And specifically, I'm referring to the fact that, that dream you were talking about, opening your mouth, our mouths, if you will, and nothing coming out. But you know what? The beautiful thing about it is because of people like Janet Restino and Phil Restino and Kathy and Brett and, oh my goodness, so many millions of other people of all colors and ethnic backgrounds around the world, because of them, because of us, the screen is coming out. In fact, we're dancing in the Golden's Revolution. We're dancing it. And, I just want to repeat those words that I said in the very beginning, that Emma Goldman or Jack Prager said, if I can't dance, I don't want to be a part of the revolution. And and tonight on this show on We Cannot Be Silent, we're going to do a little bit of dancing. Look, I know you had some things, Janet. When I say things, I had some points and thoughts that you wanted to deal with as far as some of the many artists that you know in New York, and not only New York, but in many other places. Go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, I want to talk about a few of my artist friends and the things that I'm involved in. This month, for some reason, is like busting out all over. I'm involved in 3 different poetry events that somebody else is, the producer of. One is at a beautiful cafe called Cornelia Street Cafe. Had an art show there a couple months ago, and that went really, really well. And this time around, I'm in a program that my friend Bernard Block, Bernie, is producing. He's done it, I think this is his 8th time. He started it a couple years ago, and that one is called, are you ready for this long title? The Anti-Tea Poetry Coffeehouse Collective presents news from the 99%, from Whitman to Ginsberg, subversive poems that challenge conventional wisdom. So he's done this a few times. This will be the 8th edition, and he videotapes everything. You can then find it if you're not here in New York. To attend, you could find it on his YouTube channel, youtube.com/user/anti-tea poetry. I'll be on the bill with Austin Alexis, my friend Anthony Murphy, a.k.a. Johnny Cashback, and Dave Johnson. And I will have a really, really good time doing my stuff there. It's an $8 cover charge if you're in New York. Gets you 1 free drink. So that's Bernard Block. I'm also going to be in another thing he's producing in June in a wonderful museum in Flushing. I'll have all this information somewhere online that people can access. And then I'm doing something at the Ding Dong Lounge, of all places. That's like kind of a dive bar on the Upper East Side in New York. That's on Wednesday, June 18th, along with some other people. And that's going to be produced by a friend of mine.
I don't know, Larry, but she had me at dive bar.
Everybody's doing something. Yeah, it's one of New York's better dive bars, and that's even free. What else am I doing? I've got some art in a couple shows. One is a show all about trees. I'm in a Cafe Dada in Park Slope, Brooklyn for the whole month of May. I've got a combination of artwork and photography there. It's very accessible stuff. I don't do like something that you need to read 10 pages of somebody's analysis, to make you feel stupid about what am I looking at. I'm dealing with beauty and art and beauty in the natural world. So I'm for the people, I'm accessible, and I'm trying to preserve nature in my photographs as much as possible.
Wow.
So I'm there, and then I'm at another show with the Theater for the New City in New York. They've been around forever. They do very off-the-beaten-track, off-Broadway theater. That's a show called Art Stands Up to Power. Corporations are not people. Green versus green.
I like that, Janet.
Green versus green. So I'm going to put in some very green art in that show. That should be fun.
Beautiful.
And all this is happening this month. So it's good. It's all good. Gets me out there, keeps me moving, creating new stuff.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. See, that's the thing. I think that sometimes we the people, as the Constitution says, we the people, sometimes we the people forget that we are the modus. We are the modus. You've heard the term modus operandi. Well, we are the modus. We are the ones who are about making a change. And as an artist, or bringing about real change, not this superficial hope and change nonsense we've heard so much about, but real change comes from everyday, ordinary black, white, brown, red, and yellow people. Be we in London, England, be we in Swaziland, South Africa, be we in wherever we may be or think we are. Oops, I guess I'm a little bit of an artist too. But, that's what all of us are doing. That's what you're doing, Janet. I'm just so delighted, just happy to have you as, co-host. I don't know if we're going to, okay, Phil, we'll let you back later. But, the fact of the matter is that I think that as an artist, I think it was Paul Robeson, I'm paraphrasing, who said something to the effect of, it's the duty of the artist to reflect, what the people, everyday ordinary people are experiencing, are going through. And, we do have a voice. I keep thinking about what you said about that dream that you had.
Oh, wow, that made
we do have a voice.
Huh? Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we got to, it's the primal scream sometimes, and it might not always be pretty, but needs to be done. And you were saying the we be we. That sounds like a nice little hook for a song. We be three, we be, seeing what we can see, we be we. It's already, you got something there with that. Yeah, got something there.
I'm going to remember that. And if anybody says I don't, I'm going to say, you better talk to Janet Restino, because she said I have something. Yeah. All right.
I'm sorry, I had to write that down real fast. We be we. It's very, very, it's very fertile. It's very, very fertile.
Well, Janet, the thing that I get so excited about. I mean, the audience knows that Larry Pinkney, the Black Panther Party veteran, blah 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 blah. But Larry Pinkney is just one of the millions and some million plus of people who, just like you, Janet, just like all of us, is struggling to let our voices be heard, and not only our voices, but our will, the will of the people, stronger than the man's technology, as we used to say back in the day, in the original Black Panther Party, not the new Black Panther Party.
Yeah, I like how you tied that together about the voice and the will. Yes.
Yeah.
Will be.
So I think I want to hear some more about some of these artists and about in New York and what's going on. I like what you said about standing up to power. I mean, this is beautiful. This is invigorating.
I want to mention another artist friend of mine, Leslie Abbey. She lives out in Long Island, and she's a documentary filmmaker. Her company is called Snowflake Video Productions, and God bless her, she has been concentrating on the American Indian situation in Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota. She's a psychotherapist and a cultural social worker, and she's got a new documentary film out called Buffalo Nation, The Children Are Crying, and that focuses on the devastation of the Lakota Sioux Nation. The suicide rate is going up at like crazy. More alcoholism. They're in really, really a bad situation. And her film documents that, and at the end is like, she's trying to get somebody in government to pay attention and help out. So that is on her website. You can buy it now. It's Snowflake Video Productions, and I've seen the film. I know her for a couple years. She's a fabulous person. She's also done documentaries about artists, the artist survival, artists with mental illness and whatnot. Incredible work. So that's Leslie Abbey with Snowflake Video Productions. Terrific. this week I'm going to something at the Baha'i International Center that is being presented by Angela Monty Fox. She's the mother of Josh Fox, who did the biggest anti-fracking movie called Gasland. So she's involved with somebody presenting a new film also about American Indians. And I'm going to see like a premiere of that. It's called Can't Stop the Water. So that's interesting. It's funny. It's not funny, but the event is sponsored by the International Movement for Fraternal Union Among Races and Peoples, the Grail, Yachiwasi, Sunray Meditation Society, and the Mothers Project. She's with the Mothers Project. So it should be an interesting event that I'm, fortunate to live near and go to. So more things about let's pay attention. If the people's voices can't be heard, thank God there are documentary filmmakers coming there with their microphones and their cameras, to make sure that it gets out there as well. Yeah.
Right. We'll see you. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I can go on, and can you go on, Janet?
Okay, sure.
All right. I mean, if it's cool, okay, let's go for it. Let's go for it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All righty. Yeah, we're going for it. So yeah, it's a jam-packed come what may. I'm calling this Come What May. The show I'm doing in Brooklyn. Larry, we got on the subject somehow of Richie Havens, and you mentioned your favorite album of his called Mixed Bag, and I laughed.
Yeah.
I said, I love the synchronicity. I just called my art show at Cafe Dada Mixed Bag because, usually I do one or the other, photography or artwork, and this time I decided, throw it all up on the wall and see what sticks. And with my fondness for Richie, I said, well, this is a mixed bag. So there you go. I love synchronicities in life, It makes confidence that we're on the right track. Yeah.
That is life. It's the synchronicities, the interconnectedness, the way we connect and touch each other in many, many different ways, That is what life and the struggle, really, frankly, I use the word in struggle, those words all the time. That's what the struggle is really comes down to. Bottom line is to use your term, synchronicity, interconnectedness. And that's, I want to go back to the thing about artists, because I'm talking to a great artist, Janet Restino. I'm talking to you.
Thank you.
I'm talking.
Thank you.
So I want to go.
Respect.
Go ahead. Well, no, I'm just saying that I think that what you and other artists are showing is that we are not powerless.
Right,
we are not powerless. We have to understand, recognize, and utilize. Understand, recognize, and utilize our power. Everyday, ordinary, black, white, brown, red, and yellow folk. And, this is how we, as Emma Goldman would say about the revolution, this is how we further the struggle of everyday, ordinary people. So I'm delighted. I'm just so delighted.
Oh, well,
but you mentioned Richie Havens. Tell us a little bit about your connection with Richie.
Oh, I'll tell you. I'm dating myself now, because nobody else is. Back in 1969, I lived in Philly, and I went to Temple University, and I got married. And Richie Havens was like one of the big stars at that time that I was listening to. He really had an impact. I loved his music, and he was hearing at Temple University. So my husband and I went in our little black Volkswagen Beetle to hear Richie on the campus and parked our car on North Broad Street and went to Richie, and I did something I never did before in my life, which was hang around and try to meet him afterwards. It was a small venue, and I found it was very easy, and the minute I saw him, I just went up to him and hugged him, and it was like wonderful, and he looked at me and he said, "Oh, do you want to come back to the hotel afterwards? And, they're like, sure, what's the address? Are you kidding? This wasn't a come on. It wasn't sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I was with my husband.
Right.
And he realized, well, here's somebody who's sincere, and he invited us back. So we went to his little hotel room in Philadelphia, and we're sitting around, and he talked about astrology most of the time, and I was just starstruck. I skipped a part. So we went out to get our car to drive to the hotel, and the car was missing. It had been stolen. The car had been stolen.
Was missing. Oh, my goodness.
Not to be deterred or to miss a chance to, go to Richie Haven's hotel room, I guess we took a bus or a cab or a subway. I can't remember that detail. And got there, and then, weeks later proceeded to try to find the stolen car. It's funny what details you remember and you don't. It seems to me the car wasn't recovered, and we bought a new one. But that was my first meeting with Richie Havens. And then many, 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 many years later, when I moved to New York, I saw him at a few free concerts, and one of them was in Brooklyn a couple years ago. Had my camera with me, got some photos taken of me, with Richie, with his arm around me, which I cherish. And he did a fabulous concert. This was like, fast forward from 1969 to, let's call it 2008. Approximately, or 9 or 10. I'll have to look that date up. His voice was still strong. His guitar playing was still as strong. He was still the most approachable, wonderful person. He sat around signing autographs and getting pictures taken with people afterwards, and it was just, a fabulous moment. And then when he passed away last year, I happened to be doing a radio show. I had a show for 9 months on cityworldradio.com. It's an internet station that broadcasts from here, New York City. I got the radio bug, and I started producing my own show and inviting guests on and having a ball. Had lots of artists, guests, poets, writers, musicians, you name it. And when Richie passed, I did a tribute show with my favorite Richie Havens music, which was wonderful. And I talked to one fellow who worked with Richie, and Richie, he was American Indian, who played with Pete Seeger. So it was wonderful. I wish it was still in the archives, but it's not. But I'm going to figure out how to email out the flash drive, file from that and put it on YouTube. Something. I've got a lot of technical stuff to do, which doesn't necessarily come naturally to me, and I would just love to have some geeks in my life, who've got nothing better to do than to, okay, I can upload your content. I know how to do that fast.
Janet, who've got nothing better to do than to get it out to the people. Get it out to the everyday, ordinary people. That's what you're doing. And,
there you go.
I think I want to stress that point because, sometimes, especially in this, I call it, you don't have to call it this, but I call this country, we've entered into a stage of what I call neoliberal fascism. We call it democracy. I call it a joke, a sick joke. But anyway, we still have quite a few people out there who want to be about it, who really want to be about it, who want to get messages out there. People like yourself and many other people, including many artists such as yourself. And I was as I was listening to you, I went and I pulled the album. I remember you and I talked about this, the Mixed Bag album, Richie Havens album Mixed Bag. I think it was 68 or 69. And one of the songs, he had beautiful, wonderful songs on it, but one of the songs that just touched me so deeply, Richie did a song that many other artists have also done called Handsome Johnny.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I listened to that song even to this day in 2014. Chills run through my body because he is a way.
Still happening. I know, and it's still happening. Handsome Johnny's still marching off to war. Yeah.
That's right. You said it. You see, you're reading my mind. You're not supposed to do that. See, Phil, okay, we got a co-host here who's reading my mind. But, yeah, see, that's the point. That's the point. That Janet, that's the point. And you know, we still have handsome Johnnies marching off to war and devastation and coming home to devastation. And you know, it's just stunning where we have allowed our society to be led, or should I say misled. You know, the other album I want to mention.
It's like Lemmings. You know, Lemmings are in charge.
Yes.
Off the cliff.
Oh my God. No, you go ahead. I'm talking too much.
No, that's all I'm saying. You know, it's like the Lemmings are in charge, off the cliff. Yeah, people following. What are you, crazy? Yeah.
Yes. My answer, yes. Too many are lethargic, are lethargic, and perhaps a great deal of craziness, because this craziness is induced by this, as Matt Navarro would say, this new world order. I mean, we all have heard New World Order, but this is the New World Order. But speaking of Richie, there's an album that I hope everybody will check it out. It came out before he passed. Richie Havens, the album is called Cuts to the Chase. Cuts to the Chase.
Okay, I don't know that one. I think the last one I had was Wishing Well, but okay, Cuts to the Chase. Yeah.
Cuts to the Chase. And oh my God, is it heavy? Is it deep? Is it? But it's also it's not. See, so many times people say, "Oh, all you people do is run around and you complain." No, see, they don't understand that the meaning of complaining is saying we're not going to be complacent. We're not going to allow, this insanity to continue. It's not that, we are simply complaining. We are saying, through our work, whether it's blatantly political, whether it's subtly political, but it is definitely political. I mean, you are very political. You and your many friends who are artists, are very, very political.
I'm always like, God, I wish I were doing more. There's a big Monsanto march coming up at Union Square at the end of the month. And, top of the list of companies that I hate and what they're doing to rape the world, rape Mother Earth, mother rapers, they're nature rapers, Monsanto, hate them big time. It's like, what can I, can I make any art about them? Right now I'm just riling against them, but, I have an image of a woman that's kind of like Gauguin with willow trees in the background, and underneath it says, Preserve Mother Earth. That's one of the pieces I blew up poster size, the biggest thing I've done, that's in the cafe. I'm going to put it in 2 places at once. So, it's like the positive, Preserve Mother Earth, but, I'd like to have something to say specifically to Monsanto as well, because, they've got such power. They've got such money behind them. Somebody told me that Bill Gates was a big stockholder with Monsanto. That shocked the hell out of me. Of course. It's true? Or you just assume?
As well, many of my Chicano brothers and sisters have told me the same thing, and as they would say in Espanol, por supuesto. Of course. I mean, that's I can't say I'm surprised. I think there are many other big names who are also a part of Monsanto. But, people say, well, can't we let's turn to the left. I want to read my poem. This is my introduction.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, cue. Go ahead, do it.
I'm getting ready to do my introduction. Because people say, well, the left. I say we're not birds. We don't have left wings or right wings. We are human beings. We have critically thinking minds. And so I wrote a poem 2 or 3 years ago called That Left Has Left. And if you'll bear with me, let me just read it. It's not long. It's called That Left Has Left. Here we go. Langston spoke of a dream deferred. John Brown and Harriet Tubman gave their all for that dream's fruition. Crazy Horse, Tecumseh, and Chief Seattle tried to warn us. Mother Jones, Rosa Parks, and Viola Luiso put their bodies on the line for the poor, the exploited, and the downtrodden. Malcolm and Martin were the recipients of bullets trying to bring our dreams to fruition. So many unknown and unnamed from humanity's vast color collage labored and died for us. I mean, do we not know? Can we not see? Even now, we've been divided and our history is distorted. The insatiable greed of the gluttonous rich is ravaging us and our Mother Earth. But alas, where is the left in our hour of need? Are we yet blind? They're busy keeping the system of the rich intact, consorting with the vipers of the phony left-right divide, sitting on their pedestals with airs of superiority, perpetuating, in the name of progress, the misery of the people. They consort with the evil of one or both of the lessers to keep the realization of our dreams in hock. Oh, but whatever left? Surely they will tell us the truth. No, my friend. That left the people long ago. It's up to you and me. And that is exactly as it should be. That poem I wrote 3 years ago, and I really believe that you and millions of others represent the words in that poem.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's a strong, strong poem. My friend Bernard hears that for Cornelia Street Cafe. Maybe we'll do a radio version.
Yes.
That's terrific.
Yes.
That's the left. Yep.
Janet, you have got to put that online. The show that you did with in tribute to Richie Havens. What's the name of the show? I mean, what is?
The station is cityworldradio.com, and my show that I did weekly was called Heart and Soul, and they archived everything except then, like a year later, I guess they had less space to archive, so they started cutting things out. Richie passed in the beginning of May, and all the archives were taken off, and they start in June, unfortunately. Maybe I could ask Johnny, who runs the station, if he could do me a favor and have that available. But I'll figure it out. You know, speaking of, like I said, needing nerds and technical people or whatever, I need to have the time to do a whole new website where I can post and link up audio files and put them on YouTube. I have little things on YouTube from performances I've done live at various different shows, and an interview with me at an art show that I did and whatnot. If you just put my name in on YouTube, stuff will come up. But I do want to, I haven't had the time, honestly. I just haven't had the time to do all of this technical digital stuff. Hope to have it soon. Yeah, I hope to have it soon. Hey, anybody in New York, you're around, you want to help out, get in touch with me. How do you do that? Janet's Art House at nyc.rr.com. Shoot me an email. Or if you Google me,
say it again. Say it again.
Okay, Janet's Art House, JANETSARTHOUSE at nyc.rr.com. That's my email address. And even if you Google me, my information comes up. whether you like it or not. Your phone number comes up, everything but your measurements. Hopefully, and your social security number.
If it's up to the NSA, I bet they come up too. But go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Google Maps is probably looking in my window now as we speak.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's wrong. So I'll do what I can as soon as I can get to that, Larry. I promise. Because he's near and dear to our hearts. And
yes.
And why don't you tell people where they could find your poem? Why don't you do that?
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Janet Restino.
Yeah, well, you're welcome.
You're right.
I saw it there. Yeah.
Well, you can go to Black Activist, that's BLACK Activist, WG.org, and just put in, you'll see a box where you can put in, the blackactivist.org goes all the way back. It's an archive, essentially. It goes all the way back to 1968 to what I was doing from 1968 right up to 2014. The struggle does go on, as we say, a luta continua, but if you put in the poem, and the name of the poem is That Left Has Left. Okay? It's really simple. That left has left.
But you got a lot of in that archive, Larry. You've got a lot of other writings as well.
Oh, yes, of course. The archives covers 45 years, over 45 years. It goes back to 1968. People can just put in Larry space Pinkney space archives. Click, Google, boom, and it'll come up. You go in the archives, you'll see articles, you'll see. Whatever, all kinds of interviews, blah, blah, blah. But on the right-hand side, which to me is very close to my heart, on the right-hand side of the archive, just scroll all the way down to 1968, and it'll start there, and you can come all the way up to 2014 and what's been going on. But, the reason I did that is because we need, when I say we, I'm talking about we, the everyday people, black, white, brown, red, and yellow people, everyday, ordinary, struggling people. We need to be the ones to tell our own history. We can't leave it up. We must not leave it up to these blood-sucking vipers, such as CNN, Fox News, ABC, PBS, CBS, I mean, it goes on and on and on, MSNBC. No, we need to tell our own history. We need to unplug, from this madness and tell our own histories and really start connecting with each other. Like one of the most wonderful things for me this month, to be blunt, was connecting with you, Janet. Okay?
Oh, my
so, and I gotta say, because I know Phil might be listening. He might be listening to this program. Phil, I love you, brother. You'll be back. But I'm I'm very, very happy because this shows everyone what we can do. If we sit like couch potatoes on the couch, and don't do anything, get brainwashed by this vomit that the mainstream corporate stream media puts out there, then of course, vomit produces vomit. But we are not vomit. We are creative people with creative juices running through our veins. And, you are an example of that, Janet Restino, and the people that you know. Go ahead. Sorry. I got carried away.
Oh, I'm just laughing. Juices are better than vomit. Yes, okay. We're juicing here. Get vitamin C. Get your vitamin C. Get your wheatgrass. All right.
So I think that all of us, I don't think that all of us, I know that all of us are the motives for real people power. I'm not talking about, I'm not talking about Democrat or Republican Party power. No, I could care less about that. As I said before, we're not birds. We don't have wings. We're not right wing, left wing. We are people, everyday, ordinary people, struggling and we've got to come to the realization that we must exercise our power. You've heard that expression, Janet. If you don't use it, you lose it. If you don't use it, you lose it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we got to use it. Now more than ever, we got to use it. So, anyway, let me shut up and get back to you, Janet. Go ahead. Take over the program
you keep
here.
saying everyday people. You reminded me of one of my favorite bands that unfortunately didn't go past, I think, two albums, Arrested Development, and they had a great version of Everyday People. Are you aware of Arrested Development?
Yes, of course I'm aware of it. Yeah.
They did an Everyday People thing. It was really one of my favorite, raps with really nice instrumentation behind them. I still have it on a cassette. Do you want to hear that Analog Girl thing? Speaking of cassettes,
go.
Let me
go on, your bad.
All right, let me do. We'll do something a little fun. I'm just an analog girl in a digital world. I'm just happy that my hair is curled. I'm an analog girl in a digital world. My Betsy Ross flag is always unfurled. I ain't got an iPhone. I ain't got an iPod. Oh my God. I'm still listening to my Radio Shack. I'm listening to Ray Charles sing, Hit the Road, Jack. I'm just an analog girl in the digital world. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, I'd like me a guy with his head on straight. Well, I'd like me a guy who believes in fate. Oh, I'd like me a guy to be the one. Oh, and it'd be nice if he were followed by lots of zeros. Ones and zeros, ones and zeros, ones and zeros. It's a digital world. Don't want no Neros. He'd be all of my heroes. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, I'd like me a guy who would give me a chance to kick up my heels. I like to dance. Oh, I'd like me a guy with real nice hands. I'm an analog girl. He could digitize me. I'm an analog girl. He could digitize me. Oh, baby, come on and digitize me. I got no email. I don't wear a veil. I'm an analog girl, still single today. So many guys are gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but at least in New York, they ain't feeding the stork. Oh, they're married or feeding around. Whoa, the time is fleeting, and my heart is still beating. I'm an analog girl in a digital world. I'd like to make me some money, get paid to be funny. Hey, I'd like to find me a guy we could maybe fly. I'd like to find me a guy before I up and die. He could eat my pie, we could get a little high. I'm an analog girl in the digital world. I'm just trying to keep up before they empty my cup. I say I'm trying to keep up before they empty my cup. I won't text you. I got no MySpace page. I got me a cookbook, not a Facebook. I'm scared of zip files. Too many megabytes give me the fright. Don't download me. I got no Bluetooth. I will call you from a phone booth. I will quote you some Shakespeare, forsooth. I'm an analog girl in a digital world. Hey, honey, my pen still works. My pen got ink. I got me a pencil, too. I'm an analog girl. Just give me a whirl. Little funny.
Well, I guess I'm an analog boy in a digital world. What can I say? Wow, that's
a little fun. I kind of envisioned somebody doing this like Betty Boop, honestly.
Yeah.
It's so great that we can laugh and sing in the face of all the trials and tribulations. Because I tell you, it's the dancing and singing that drives the New World Order crazy.
Mm-hmm.
With all the trials and tribulations, to hear us dancing and singing still just drives
them. Yeah, there you go. Right. We want a
nuts.
Revolution we can dance in.
That's right. I want a revolution I can dance to.
All right.
Damn right. You excuse my language, but you know what? Damn right. Because if I can't dance, I don't want to be a part of your revolution. You dig it? Because it's not about anger or simply anger. Of course, anger is legitimate. It's legitimate anger, but we have to take that anger and we need to channel that anger to bring about real change, and we need to enjoy. See, that's what I think so many of us forget. Janet and Gary, you are so correct. You know, we forget. We forget our accomplishments. We forget what we've done, what we've been through. We forget that the very fact that we are still here is in and of itself a testament to our own humanity. That is a testament.
To your strength, your resilience, your ability to, transcend the crap and rise above the bullshit. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
That's right.
And your adaptability. My God, look what we have to adapt to that nobody had to 20 years ago, even 10 years ago. Yes, indeed.
Well, first of all,
That's right.
on behalf of the United We Strike Marathon, I want to extend my appreciation to Larry Pinkney and Janet Restino for agreeing to fill in for the extra half hour. I did have a cancellation, and they were kind enough to care. But you guys were on a roll. I think I probably could keep you on for another hour, and you could entertain folks but I think Janet's battery will run out.
I was? Oh, we're done. Yeah. Well, thank you very much. I had a great time. I really appreciate it.
But
thank you.
A couple quick things before we cut you loose. We do have a couple minutes left here. First of all, I would like to invite each of you, if you are available, to join us for a roundtable discussion that starts in about 35 minutes from now. Think about that. If you might be able to be available, we'd love to have you. The other thing that I always have to remind hosts to do, because quite often we forget to do this. There's going to be people out there who are going to hear this and are going to say, these two people kick. I'd like to hear some more of what they're all about. In this last couple minutes here, I would like you to take some time to do some blatant self-promotion and let people, I know you mentioned it earlier on, but please, just before we wind up, tell people where they can hear more of your material.
Okay.
Go ahead, Janet. Go ahead. Do some blatant self-promotion.
Yeah, well,
you
for
take
right
a minute,
now,
I'll take a minute.
Thank you. All right, for now, the place you could hear me is on YouTube. If you put my name in, Janet Restino, R-E-S, as in Sam, T-I-N-O, various things will come up on YouTube. A bunch of cute little things I did at an open mic for my friend Philip Giambri, who calls himself the Ancient Mariner. Ancient Mariner. If you put that in under YouTube, my things will come up there as well. So that's basically it. I don't have the website in place yet with everything you need to know. But I have two art websites. One is called cafepress.com/Janet's Art House. And there you can buy artwork on T-shirts, tiles, tote bags, coffee mugs, all that kind of very, very, very affordable stuff. Phil's favorite is a screaming head that says enough. He loves that image to death. I did it in the throes of migraine headaches, and it's paid off for me in a few bucks after all that pain. But, there's lots of stuff there that is very, very affordable. That's cafepress.com/Janet's Art House. I have fine art on janetrestino.com. Sculpture, original paintings, things that aren't so commercialized. Those are the three main places that I could think of for now. YouTube, janetrestino.com, and cafepress.com/Janet's Art House. If you want to email me, janetsarthouse@nyc.rr.com. And thank you again, Phil, and I really appreciate you, getting me on. And thank you, Larry. Thank you, Gary. I've been delighted to be here and participate. Okay. I'm done. Larry, over to you.
Thank you, Janet. Thank you. All I have to say is to all of our brothers and sisters, our sisters and brothers out there in radio land around the world, keep tuning in to UnitedWeStrike.org. Support them. support us, because in so doing we're supporting ourselves. To read and be aware of what I'm doing, simply do, first of all, I'm an associate editor with Intrepid Report. That's intrepidreport.com. Also, you can check out my writings, interviews, blah, 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 on just go to Larry Pinkney Archives. Just put that in, bam, it'll come up, go through the right-hand column, and have fun. Thirdly, the third and last thing is just go to Black Activist, BlackActivistWG.org. Black Activist WG.org. It stands for Black Activist Writers Guild.org, but just blackactivistwg.org. All right? Have fun. We love you. Stay strong. And as we in the Black Panther, the original Black Panther Party, not to be confused with the new Black Panther Party, the original Black Panther Party, we said it then, I'm saying it now. All power to the people. Black, white, brown, red, and yellow people. All power to the people.
I cannot be silent.
Nobody can do everything, but everybody can do something. Everyone must play a part. Everyone got to go to work. Work for peace. Spirit say work.
I cannot be silent.